How you doing, sir?
Good, good.
Good. Well, give us the take. I know you haven't gotten the results that you've wanted as of late, but what's your take on how things have gone lately?
Well, now I have a different preparation for my fight, so I'm training out here in the United States. I've been preparing New Mexico, in Albuquerque, at Jackson Wing, so I believe this time is going to be different for that reason.
Nice. When did you make that change? Just for this camp?
No, actually, the fight, when I got the contract for the Contender Series, I was preparing also in New Mexico, and it was one of my best preparations ever. So I'm just trying to redo a good preparation that I know I can do when I'm out there.
Nice. Are you gonna live there full time or?
I'm going back to Brazil after my fight, and I'll try to figure things out. But yeah, I definitely don't want to be fighting out of Belém anymore.
Nice. The last one, there were so many changes, right? Like opponents and dates and everything. I mean, I know you don't want to make any excuses, but did that factor into the preparation?
It's tricky, you know, because I was supposed to fight Eric Anders, who's more of a striker. He grapples a little bit, and then it switched for a guy who was just straight wrestling guy, and with a month preparation. I was training already like 3 months for Eric Anders, and then switched to that guy, and it's tricky, you know. It's not the perfect condition for a fight, so that time around is different though. All of my fights in UFC, the 2 fights I had, always switched opponents. My first fight when I fought Andre Muniz, the opponent switched like 3 times. He was the 4th option, so that's not good when you're trying to visualize things in your head. And I work a lot with visualizations, meditation, and when you keep switching and you have to switch that switch in your mind, it's not the same. This time around, I have the same guy for the whole camp, and I'm preparing the best way I can, in the best seat I can. It's even higher than here, so the climate factor will not be new for me this time.
Nice. Well, what do you think about Tom as a contender? He's had some great performances and some losses as of late, ups and downs. What do you think of him as a fighter?
Tom
Yeah.
Breeze, yeah. So I've seen he has like a couple losses in the UFC, and he's a good boxer. He has good cardio. He can work good when has his back on the ground. He has a good jiu-jitsu in this situation. But I believe my jiu-jitsu is just as good. I'm Brazilian jiu-jitsu. I came from the city where the jiu-jitsu was first started spreading. So I believe for that reason, I'm as good as jiu-jitsu as him, if not better. I feel like I have more power than him. Like I'm stronger, and he has the slick boxing, but I think I can neutralize that with my Muay Thai and with my kickboxing.
Nice. I guess every fight's important, but does this one feel like a really important fight, like a must-win, if you will?
Yeah. I was just talking about that, and it's like a situation when I still have another fight in my contract, but so many guys were fired after the 3rd loss that I don't want to take that risk, and I believe if I make an exciting fight, I'll keep my job and I'll have another opportunity.
Nice. And I guess last thing, what kind of fight do you see? I mean, it feels like this is the first time that you haven't had to change opponents. You've had to prepare, you know what I mean? So does it feel like we're going to see something different? What do you think we're going to see on
That's the first time since the Contender Series. The Contender Series, I had the same opponent for the whole camp. And you guys saw what happened then. And I believe it's going to be a really good performance based on that, on not having to switch opponents and being out here, training out here, not have the climate surprise factor. That won't be a surprise. I'm actually higher in Albuquerque than I'm over here, so I won't be surprised by either dry weather or difficult of breathing. So I believe it's going to be good this time. You guys can bet on it.
Do you like the pressure? Like you said, that you're kind of putting that pressure on yourself a little bit, that you don't want to get that 3rd strike. Do you fight better with that? And do you like having that little pressure on your shoulder to kind of push you forward a little bit?
I like fighting as an underdog, as someone that people are discrediting. So every time I fought like that, I had great wins. So I believe this time it's gonna be good, and that's one of the reasons. I'm the underdog, and I have a lot of pressure on me right now.
Has it been frustrating this time period since I guess the last win was 2019 July? Has it been frustrating to not have a win in that period, or is it just staying focused and just knowing that the wins will come back at some point?
The frustration comes and goes, you know, because right after the fight, you feel that frustration, you feel that disappointment. But as the time goes, you start figure things out, you start training the things that you are not good at, and when you see those things working, it starts to feel better when you see that you can do what you can't do, what you wouldn't be, what you wasn't able to do, and now you can do. So that's a good feeling. But yeah, it's not the same feeling as a victory ever. I have to erase that, and that's what I'm going for this Saturday, to go to the green area again, the area of the wings.
And how did the overall fight camp feel? Are you feeling like you're coming in on a different level than maybe what you felt in recent fights?
Yeah, definitely. The more important fact for me, I have great trainers in Belém, but the weather is so different. And since I won't have that, that's the biggest factor that I believe, that makes me believe that I will have a better performance this time.
Who are some of the training partners that you were working with during this camp?
Oh yeah, so we have a lot of great fighters.
Sure.
Back in Jackson Wink, guys like John Jones, Holly Holmes, Carlos Condit, like a lot of guys. And I believe, especially because it's that gym has a lot of rotation of people, and I have a lot of guys, big guys to train with me too. That helps me a lot to be ready for every situation inside the octagon. And that's one of the reasons I feel more prepared. Back in Belém, I don't have that many people to train with me. They are mostly like lighter guys from lower divisions. I don't mean they are not good, but it's different.
Yeah.
It's just not my size.
And then last thing, what things need to happen to make sure that you get your arm raised in a victory on Saturday night?
Well, I have a well-traced game plan right now, and I'll just have to stick to it. And I know if I stick to it, it won't be a boring fight, because I'm not boring, I'm always going. So I'll have a bigger advantage if I stick to my game plan, and the knockout is there anytime. It can happen anytime.
Best of luck on Saturday.
Thank you, bro.